Alright, I'm starting my journey today, recording my path of self-mastery and how it's leading me to my definition of success. So I guess I'll start by sharing my vision of success before going any further. Okay. Success is something that is very complex in many ways. A lot of people can define it as, having a successful business, owning a company, or being a CEO, entrepreneur, something of value, substance that they can pretty much, look back on and be proud of, right? So success for me is feeling fulfilled. So fulfillment is another word that can describe, so feelings of lack of desire. So once you're fulfilled and content with the things you have in life, you no longer desire to have things that you think are aligned with visions of success. Okay, so if any of that makes sense, I'll have to look back on this video and probably edit it. But essentially what I'm trying to say is everybody has an idea of success, but I don't think anybody truly knows what that means, because it does mean something different to everyone. So with that being said, don't be afraid of reaching for your vision of success, because it's going to be different from someone else's. That's just the way we're created, Why would it'd be boring if we were all trying to attain the same things, right? It's one thing to have a car to drive, a house to live in, and food on the table, but there is more to life, and I think it's about creating connections and networking and seeing what kind of impact you can make on others' lives to inspire them to reach their potential, which is why I'm starting this today. I've been inspired by a lot of different people through my journey of spiritual awakening and becoming closer to God and my relationship with myself, of course. It's an ongoing journey, and you never will but I don't think, there isn't a destination. Let's correct that. Because it is just a journey, Even when you set a path to go on a road trip, you don't really know what's going to happen during that road trip, but you're aware and you set the intention that you wanted to go on the road trip, right? So that's just like in life. As long as you set the intention and then you have some type of guide map or road map, list of strategies or long-term, short-term goals, just having a vision, having, the energy put into what it is you want to receive. If you want to have the nice house and the nice car, well, constantly believing that you'll never receive those nice things will exactly amount to that. You won't receive them because you don't believe that you deserve you need to receive them, or that you deserve them at all in any fashion. But I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I've always firmly believed that. And there's going to be times in your life where you're feeling stuck, but open your eyes to see a wider and broader perspective of what is available, right? So the moment you think that that's what you do want, I think you should question yourself again, and ask, why do you think you want it? Will it bring you more fulfillment? Will it bring you satisfaction? You think it'll bring you happiness? Will it bring you the husband or wife or, anyone you've been looking for. No, like the only person you need is yourself. Yourself to believe that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. There's a quote, control your mind or it will control you. And I think that's a lot of what is happening in today's society, especially here in America. A lot of people are just misguided through exposure of the news and social media and all these different outlets of, fear propaganda, or just limiting everything, just thinking that the world is so small and so damaged and heartbroken and distraught, and again, just all these very low vibratory frequencies that aren't going to ignite the passion in any individual, let alone the collective whole of humanity. So I think that my message here is, I don't know. I'm confident that my mission here and part of my purpose is to share these stories of people overcoming, their own instilled limiting beliefs that are from their childhood of, either poor parenting, good parenting, in and out of foster care homes, whatever, your situation is. It does not make who you are today. I just finished reading a book called Voice of Knowledge by Miguel, Ruiz. He also wrote The Four Agreements. But essentially, he shared an insightful message in one of the chapters, and I've heard it before, but basically, your story is not, like, you can always recreate your story. So, growing up without a father, and at the age of 11, just about, going into, I believe it was 4th grade, my parents had just gotten divorced. I was exposed the truth to knowing that who I knew as my father figure growing up was indeed not my biological father, and it had a very big influence on my life. Looking back at it now, I can see how that day, that moment in my life really did shift what I believed about myself, what I knew about my family, who was blood related, who cared, who didn't. But I immediately started asking questions. And, prior to that, I recognized that I didn't look much like my sisters. Things were just different, attitude-wise, hair color, eye color, etc. And, I got to know a little bit more about my dad and realized that that's where all of my qualities that I had believed were to be different actually came from. So, appreciating and understanding your journey in life, and again, going back to that, everything happens for a reason, but without my dad leaving my mom the way he did, or whatever the situation is or was, there was a reason for it happening. And again, looking back at it, and maybe 10 years from now, I'll see a bigger and better perspective of how that has, again, kind of like unfolded the rest of my life's journey, right? So, moving forward, my mom was remarried, my dad remarried, my mom remarried, she is still remarried, and my dad, Victor, my legal parent, guardian, who is not my biological father, he remarried. Long story short, I've overcome a lot of my own limiting beliefs through affirming to myself through a lot of different avenues. I journal often, so I'll write, you're doing the very best you can, or I've actually done things where I write a letter to myself, and a couple months later, a couple years later, I read that message and see, how I was treating myself or talking what beliefs I had then. And that's another thing, kind of going back to like journaling. I think it's really important to pretty much reflect on your own thought processes and how so weird. Got a beam of light coming through my third eye. Okay, so it's really important to reflect on your feelings in life, your adventures in life, whatever is flowing through the moment in your writing. Just let it go. It's different from a diary. I think it's another part of those programmed belief things that we were told that's a secrecy thing. But I think it's really important to just journal your thoughts. Nothing personal, but you can, of course. But if you did want to share it with someone, it would be one of those things that you would be more than happy to share with. So I'm happy to share that I've actually been journaling on and off. I've been a little distant from it recently because I've been busier with work, but it's no excuse. There really is no excuse. Even yesterday, I pulled my journal out and I wrote at the beach, just a little page full, but the feeling that I get after I've written whatever it is I'm feeling down, I feel better. I'm no longer holding those grudges or holding in any anger, or I can finally realize what it is that's bothering me, internally, because I'm able to see it on paper rather than sorting through your mind what's going on. So I've probably gotten a little off topic by now, but basically I have had a vision for creating like a talk show podcast thing for some time, but I am ready. I am so ready to share with the world other people's stories of success, not even just mine, my journey, anything. I want to just prove to people that no matter what or who you are or where you've come from, your background, your income, your parents' financial circumstances, anything, none of that matters. What matters most is here and now. Each moment we have the power to take back our authentic self and share that with the world, right? So again, I believe that through a lot of education, I've kind of been just dumbed down, like legitimately dumbed down, and I'm not as creative as what maybe my potential could have been at one point in my life. But that, again, I'm not allowing that to keep my story just at that plateaued, oh well, if you just didn't do it, then you can't do it. Like, no, I really do believe that you just have to focus and have faith and patience that everything will work out as needed, and accepting that you always have what you need at every time. And at those moments when you're not feeling like that, you need to be grateful and just again step back and take a moment for everything that's been coordinated in your life to bring you to where you are today, because that is the power of God. That is the power of humanity. That's what we can bring again to pretty much reignite and rejuvenate every living being on this planet to reach their fullest potential and no longer be limited by their beliefs, their family structures, their friends, anything, co-workers even. Surround yourself with people that raise you up and support your vision and want to be part of that vision. I truly believe that that's how the world will change, and that is part of the work that I'm doing. I want to share with the world that the world is indeed changing, and it's starting with individuals taking responsibility for themselves and their place in the world and how that they feel that, the passion on purpose. I'm quoting Alex Rolanitis, one of my good friends. Essentially, you have to ignite that passion. What makes you wake up in the morning? What really motivates you? What do you do that makes you come alive? And it's okay if you haven't found that. But I encourage you more than anything, instead of coping with your problems, or quote unquote problems, I say because it's all in your head, dealing with alcohol, stress, coping with entertainment, Netflix binging, like, it's sick, man. Take time to go into your room, go out in nature, go to the beach, go to the park, sit in your car with some meditative music, wherever you find your sacred place, you can find your peace of mind, is where you will find the voice of God and your higher self that will guide you to these places. So I'd be happy to get into this with another video, but just know that you're all right where you need to be, and I'm happy if you've discovered this channel and this video by now. Check out interviews, it's going to be great. I have a pre-interview with someone for the show tonight, and I look forward to sharing her story of success and so many more. I really do believe that this human experience is one of the most magical things that we will have the opportunity to live with, right? So why would we not want to make it the best? We're not here to suffer. We're not here to be depressed or sad about anything. Life is a beautiful mystery. It truly is, and I think that's the greatest part. We're all here to discover it for ourselves, and each individual has a path, destiny, some might call it, but I believe that we are all here for a reason, and that we all have a very special message and a very special purpose to fulfill. So I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on the social media, news sites, and if you are out there and this resonates with you and you want to share your story, contact us. Interviews@gmail.com. That's INTRAVIEEWS, interviews@gmail.com. Or again, follow us at Intraviews on Instagram. We're in the process of creating the webpage and a whole bunch of other good stuff. So I look forward to hearing more stories of success. And as always, thanks for listening, and be the change you wish to see in the